As the story begins, we see the thunder strike Linhai City from the Earth Dragon Kingdom, opening a portal from another world. This permitted monsters from other worlds to enter the real world. This event created humanity's greatest disaster, as the monsters began to destroy cities and slaughter the humans who were powerless to defend themselves. But the heavens did not abandon humankind. Various marks started to develop on the humans' hands, granting them special powers. People who were gifted with this P-hour were known as class shifters. This phenomenon marks the beginning of the era of class shifters. Even among class shifters, there were only 3 legendary classes: Ghost Swordsman Alpha from the Lighthouse Kingdom, Hell Dragon Restivou from the Ephemeral Kingdom, and finally, Frost King Quan Jixian from the Icebound Kingdom. Because these kingdoms were stronger than others, they were constantly ahead of the competition regarding otherworld plans. 100 years ago, an outstanding class shifter emerged in the Dragon Kingdom. His name was Xiao Luo, and he was the Dragon Kingdom's strongest fighter. We see Xiao Luo stand fearlessly in front of massive monsters that rush toward him. Then, as he moves, he cuts all the monsters in one go. He was so strong that he only needed 10 years to set China's highest record. As a result, he became the first highly skilled specialist in the 70th world. However, the most powerful beasts of level 9 began to invade the world. These monsters were so powerful that no one but Xiao Luo could battle them. Xiao Luo, who was also a level 8th class shifter, defended the Dragon Kingdom by sacrificing himself. And today marked the 100th anniversary of Xiao Luo's courageous death. So the memorial service was held in the Dragon Kingdom's capital city. Then a news reporter informs that 12.52 million people have awakened in the Dragon Kingdom this year. So they saw an 11.3% increase in awakened individuals this year compared to last year. Among the class shifters, the core class shifters were 10% of all awakened persons, breaking the mark set in the year Xiao Luo was born. So the kingdom anticipated the birth of the next Xiao Luo. Then, a massive thunderclap strikes a distant building. The scene then transitions to a young man sleeping on a bed. He has taken some medication and appears to be in a half-conscious state. Then a message appears, indicating that the gateway to an alternate universe is about to open. This shocks the person, and his eyes widen in shock. He gets up swiftly and is confused about why he is alive. He glances around to figure out where he is. Then his head begins to hurt severely as he recalls the memories of the body he is currently in. The body's owner was a hard-working man who valued his family. But he awakened a garbage class in this world, which resulted in his lover dumping him. He had no money to pay for his little brother's medical bills, and is heartbroken that he has awakened as a beast tamer, which is a trash class to awaken for the poor people. So he apologizes to his brother for being a useless brother and takes a lot of sleeping pills, which leads to his death. Then it is revealed that the individual who has been reborn in the young man's body is none other than Xiao Luo. He never anticipated to be reincarnated 100 years after his death. Then he says it's no surprise that the former owner died because of his skill beast tamer. Beast tamers rely heavily on their pets to fight, therefore they must maintain their pets' attributes while increasing their own. However, the biggest issue is the amount of money required to train a powerful beast, making it a trash class for the poor. So Zhang Yu, the body's previous owner who had failed in life, committed suicide. However, Xiao Luo is confident in his abilities because he was once the most powerful warrior in the Dragon Kingdom. He decides to take on the responsibility of the former owner as a reward for lending his body and decides to conquer the world once more. The system then announces that the portals to an alternate universe are about to open, advising class shifters to prepare. Xiao Luo gives the order to unlock the portal. A massive amount of energy begins to condense, forming a portal. Xiao Luo enters the portal, and the system greets him, informing him that he has been offline for 36,552 days. It provides information on his statistics, calculate his reward for slaying a wave of level 9 beasts, and grant him a whooping of 2 trillion points. Then it congratulates him on completing the mythical achievement Unparalleled, which involved slaying a wave of level 9 beasts. It rewards him with a supreme oracle for completing the mythical achievement. The Supreme Oracle is automatically activated, granting him a permanent bonus that speeds up energy collecting in the alternative world by 10,000 times, both offline and online. This affects the system's energy rewards, which have been boosted to 200 trillion points. Even Xiao Luo, who had been unconcerned until now, was surprised to see the reward of trillions of alternate energy for defeating a single wave of level 9 animals. The system also gives him the option of resetting his class and selecting one of the 7 mythological core classes that the system has provided. The options included Knight, the Undead Doom Rider, Warrior, the Dark Swordsman, Assassin, Shadow Reaper, Priest, Magician, Archer, and Beast Tamer, the Necromancer. Xiao Luo was a top-tier warrior in his previous life, but the strongest class in the alternate world has always been Beast Tamer. But the amount of alternate energy required to improve themselves and their pets as a Beast Tamer is too much, making it a difficult class to improve. But Xiao Luo's case was exceptional because he was reincarnated with trillions of alternative energy. As a result, he chose the class of Beast Tamer, also known as the Necromancer. The system congratulates him on selecting an advanced Beast Tamer class. Xiao Luo can feel the energy running through his body and believes its strength is noteworthy for being a mythical class. The Necromancer belongs to the mythical core class and allows Xiao Luo to resurrect the dead. It also specializes in the power of the dead, such as skill number 1 Soul Harvest, which gives the Necromancer a 1% chance of taking the opponent's monster's soul once it is killed by the Necromancer. However, the monster pet cannot be traded or used in other ways. Skill number 2 Undead Evolution. This skill allows monster pets to evolve by consuming other pets of the same level. The highest level for a pet is Mythical Class, and it is completely loyal to its master. Skill number 3 Death Reduction. With this skill, the experience required to upgrade a Necromancer's pets is decreased by 50%. After taming a pet, the IQ of an ordinary beast cannot be increased. Necromancers can also harvest pets. All these skills make it deserving of the title of the mythical core class. Xiao Luo had top-tier class in his previous life. Still, he conquered 70 worlds in just 10 years, becoming the strongest in the Dragon Kingdom. However, now that he possesses a mythical core class, he decides to clear every world until he clears the final world. This will make him not the strongest in the Dragon Kingdom, but the strongest warrior in the world. Then he arrives at the first alternative world, Nightmare Source. Once inside the alternate worlds, the participants are immediately sent to a safe area known as Doomsday Town, where fighting is forbidden. When the system asks Xiao Luo whether he would like to change his username, he chooses 0 as his new name. Xiao Luo chose this name because it was his choice. Okay, the real reason is that he is destined to surpass his previous existence Xiao Luo and everyone in the world, and the only thing that surpasses everything is 0. So he believes that 0 is the ideal name for him. Doomsday is a newcomer town, so some newbies find the alternate world impressive. Then the system declares that the first world quest was launched. And to complete the goal, everyone starts searching for teammates as going solo is dangerous. However, Xiao Luo is staring at the quest screen. They must defeat 1,000 creatures in the first world Ian order to complete the first objective. And the second quest asks them to get 10 silver coins by finishing the quests or killing the creatures. The player is given access to the boss dungeon after completing the first 2 quests. If they can defeat the boss, they will be allowed to enter the second world. Since the world layout has mostly stayed the same from his previous life, this does not shock him. Therefore, he chooses to finish the quest after purchasing the equipment he needs. He went to the equipment store that Charles, the boss, owned. According to Xiao Luo, the system's equipment is still only capable of providing cheap, basic goods. As a result, even the best equipment is limited to a 1-star rating. The store's boss asks Xiao Luo if he would like higher quality materials, but he warns him that this would come at higher prices. Xiao Luo tosses 100 copper coins and purchases a 1-star rated staff. The newbies around him are confused as to why he paid 100 copper coins for a 1-star rated staff, since the system merely offers them a bundle of 100 copper coins as a welcome gift. Furthermore, the staff doesn't have much power. Purchasing an entire set of unrefined products is more cost-effective than buying a staff with a 1-star rating. Xiao Luo bids them farewell and thanks them for the remainder. A girl then emphasizes that a higher star rating products can refine their attributes, which boosts their attack power. However, the man clarifies that to refine equipment, alternative energy is needed, and this energy can only be collected in limited quantities by defeating monsters during quests. For thinking about wasting so much valuable alternative energy for refining a staff with a 1-star rating, they label Xiao Luo an idiot. The other guys there highlight the fact that he has no defense, and calls out Xiao Luo as an ignorant country boy. Xiao Luo is aware of all of these facts, but they only apply to the average newbies, since it can be challenging to gather alternative energy, which is basically the world's currency. As a result, they would not be ready to spend their hard-earned energy on a low-level 1-star staff. However, our boy Xiao Luo, who is an alternate energy trillionaire, begins to refine the staff. The system alerts him that the refinement has a 10% success rate and costs him 1 point for each green attribute. Xiao Luo initiates the refinement process and continues until the maximum stats are achieved. To obtain a golden attribute, he had to spend 985 alternative energy. The staff now has a passive ability called Burning, which activates every time he uses it to attack an opponent. The enemy will go into a burning state for 3 seconds, losing 20 HP every second. The staff's magic attack power is now 26 points. At this point, Xiao Luo is fully prepared to wipe out the monsters in the quest. In the first alternative world, Nightmare Source of the World, the new class shifters are attacking the monsters. When a man strikes a large wolf, it takes minor harm, but also becomes furious. Since he is incapable of infecting a low-level beast with decent damage, the guy is afraid for his life. When the wolf strikes back, the man dodges the blow, which would instantly kill him by jumping like a cat. However, a powerful magic strike was launched on the wolf, instantly killing it. Everyone is taken aback by the attack's strength and turns around to see the attacker. The enormous mutant rat was killed by Xiao Luo. That was a rat, not a wolf. WTF bro. Because of his legendary class-shifting talent, Xiao Luo was bestowed with a buff that allowed him to take out the beast with a single blow, while other individuals of ordinary classes had to work together in order to kill a single beast. His attack power amazes everyone. The guy whom Xiao Luo saved is in shock that the Gant mutant rat was defeated in a single blow. The girl behind him notes that he might be an experienced player after noticing that Xiao Luo was carrying golden equipment. However, the man denies it, claiming that no novice could possess enough alternative energy to upgrade the staff at such an early level. Then they all agree not to delve too far into Xiao Luo's identity, and acknowledge him as their boss without Xiao Luo's knowledge. After putting some serious thought into it, Xiao Luo chooses to hunt high-level monsters because they offer more experience points than low-level beasts. Then he recalls other creatures that were there in the first alternate world. There are poisonous spiders at levels 3 or 4, armored scorpions at levels 5 to 7, wild boars at levels 8 to 9, and a level 10 boss called the Violent Boar King at the end that he must battle. For the time being, though, he chooses to begin the hunt with level 3 poisonous spiders, which are found in an abandoned factory, and he moves in that direction. However, the trio he just saved stops him. The man invites Xiao Luo to join them, saying that Xiao Luo would make the ideal party member for their team. The girls address him as a cutie and ask him to join them as they stand there seductively. Xiao Luo dismisses them with an icy cold face and heads for the abandoned factory. The trio is shocked to learn that Xiao Luo's aura is far more terrifying than the beast they had to battle, and they also discover that Xiao Luo is moving in the direction of the abandoned factory. Considering Xiao Luo was going to fight monsters of a higher level, while they were having trouble dealing damage to even one low-level beast, they believed Xiao Luo to be a real boss. The scene cuts to Xiao Luo skillfully slicing through the poisonous spiders and mutated rats. He climbs up to level 3 and receives a ton of experience. The system notifies him that to level up once more, he requires 1,000 experience points. Then he is rewarded with the Fireball skill. Xiao Luo is taken aback to discover that the bonus upgrade of the mythical class is 6 times more powerful than that of the regular classes, and he also gains an extra 18 attribute points as a reward. He allocates 8 points to intelligence stats, which quickens the speed at which he can cast spells. Another 5 points are assigned to agility, and a final 5 points to spirit in order to balance his attack damage and agility. He then goes on to examine his skill. The first skill is typically not very strong, because beginners have limited alternate energy to use them for skill upgrades. However, for the Xiao Luo, that was not the case, therefore he maxes out the skill, increasing the damage rate by 140%. He can reach level 8 if he keeps going at this pace and completes the 2-world tasks, which should be sufficient to take down the first world monster. Then he heard a cry for help coming from behind a large door in front of him. When he opens the door, he sees Carl, a man who is missing a limb. Carl is shown to be an NPC character whose wife and kids were murdered by monsters. To get his revenge, he so begs Xiao Luo's help, which triggers the mission, Destroy the Scorpions. According to Xiao Luo, this world has similarities to games in which you can complete tasks from non-player characters. The only difference is that in this world, dying signifies your real death. Because fulfilling an NPC's quest can provide greater benefits than simply killing beasts at random, Xiao Luo agrees to take on this task. The player must eliminate every armored scorpion in this quest, including the boss monster, the Armored Emperor Scorpion. He hears a noise of footsteps, which is caused by an unknown human. But he chooses to ignore it as the armored scorpions of level 5 arrive at the scene, and the system alerts Xiao Luo to the armored scorpion's passive ability named Armor, which reduces the attack damages. When the scorpions charge at him, Xiao Luo calls forth his staff and unleashes his fireball skill, turning the beast into ash. Even though it is a powerful skill, he needs a lot of mana to use this skill. He chooses to make wise use of it and keeps killing the scorpions. After the scorpions in the scene are killed, the Armored Scorpion Emperor, who is the ruler of the scorpions, appears. Though Xiao Luo is prepared to fight it, he needs to kill it before his mana runs out. He launches his most powerful move, the Super Fireball. However, it barely slightly scratches the scorpion boss due to its thick skin. Thus, he lunges behind it and targets its weak point. He uses another Super Fireball to attack it, using up all of his mana in the process. Thankfully, though, he managed to immobilize it. All that's left is for him to kill it with a final blow to finish the job. However, suddenly a man strikes Xiao Luo from behind, and a second man approaches the scorpion to take MC's kill. Xiao Luo easily sidesteps the strike and adds, grinning confidently, that he had been waiting for them to arrive. The guy finds it surprising that MC knew about their presence. Xiao Luo claimed he was deliberately running out of mana to trick these bastards into showing their faces, because he had known about their presence ever since he heard their footsteps. Xiao Luo gathers his mana and laughs at them for picking him out of all the other targets. He turns the first man into ash by using his incredible flame to burn him along with the scorpion boss. The second guy knows that Xiao Luo is not your typical novice and is terrified for his life, but he still doesn't understand why he hasn't run out of mana yet. Then, to his further fear, Xiao Luo reveals that he had been acting all along to lure them out. Fortunately for Xiao Luo, the soul-harvesting Necromancer skill is activated, which asks him whether he wants to make the Armored Emperor Scorpion his new pet. Happily, Xiao Luo agrees and absorbs the soul of the beast. The system informs him that he now has a new, normal-grade Armored Emperor Scorpion as a pet, which he calls out immediately. The Necromancer's entire skill set becomes active. The beast is then upgraded into a max stage by him using his alternate energy. The people who battled him are puzzled and shocked as to how he managed to turn a boss into his pet monster, considering that no regular beast tamers should be able to accomplish it. He discloses their strategy of stealing credit for killing the Scorpion King. The cunning guys are aware that he messed up the wrong individual. To save his life, he chooses to flee. However, before he can, Xiao Luo commands his beast to get rid of him. He is stabbed by the pet monster's deadly arm. The man begged Xiao Luo to spare his life. However, Xiao Luo informs him that in this world where the strong preys on the weak, one who wants to prey on the weak should be prepared to be preyed upon by the people stronger than them. Then the NPC that assigned him the mission thanks him for getting back at the monsters for him, and says he would be a good brother to Xiao Luo. The system gives him rewards, such as an armored pair of leggings and a magic necklace, for finishing the mission. Since Xiao Luo is only concerned with the equipment, he chooses to inspect it and finds that both of the pieces are one-star equipment that can be improved. He gains strong magical abilities from the magical necklace. Additionally, if he wears the armored leggings, it offers him some protection. Xiao Luo is pleased with his rewards, particularly the magical necklace, as he was low on mana, so he used his limitless alternative energy to fully upgrade both of his pieces of equipment to golden ones. He believes that if he continues in this direction, leveling up to level 5 will come very effortlessly. Unexpectedly, the Doomsday Town's secret realm mission is announced by the system, and it disappears in an hour. Thus, the first person to finish this job within 1 hour will receive generous rewards from the system. The news reaches every person in the city, but they are all taken aback to learn that it is a level 5 secret realm. However, Xiao Luo, who is close to the place, believes that he can complete the missions with his current skills and win the rewards for himself. The scene changes to the entrance of the secret realm, where a man invites people to work together with him to clear the secret realm, so they can each receive an enormous reward worth a fortune on their first successful pass. However, because it's a level 5 secret realm and requires them to risk their lives for fortune, the people are not up to it. The man argues that if they group together, they won't have to put their lives in danger. When Xiao Luo arrives on the scene, he believes that a large number of people are interested in challenging the secret world. Following that, a man wearing golden armor and accompanied by bodyguards shows up. Lu Yao is his name, and he is the son of Louis Yu, the richest man in the Linhai city. They are the billionaire owners of the 3 biggest pharmacies. Everyone is shocked to learn that Lu Yao's bodyguards also have 1-star gear, as they cost tens of thousands for a piece. Then a girl questions why Xiao Luo is here, after recognizing him. Her name is Lin, and Xiao Luo recognizes her as the former girlfriend of the previous owner of the body. She asks if he wants to enter the secret realm as well, mockingly referring to him as just another beast tamer who can't even pay his rent. Xiao Luo asks her if she has any problems with him going into the secret realm with an intimidating expression. The previous owner merely asked her to give him a second chance with her, so she is taken aback to see Xiao Luo talking back to her. She then abruptly turns to face Lu Yao, saying, "People like them should not wish so big. Only strong men like Brother Yao are qualified to pass this secret realm." Then, making fun of Xiao Luo, Lu Yao says, "I know it hurts to be dumbed, but people like him should know his worth." Unconcerned, Xiao Luo responds like a Chad, telling him he can keep her because, to him, she's just a worn-out shoe. However, Xiao Luo says that Lu Yao is the one who is aiming high when it comes to the secret realm. After hearing Xiao Luo insult her, Lin becomes enraged and asks Lu Yao to discipline Xiao Luo for his arrogant remarks. With a condescending look, Xiao Luo advises them to cherish their life before teaching him manners. Lin becomes enraged over it and begins to yap. However, Lu Yao tries to gauge MC's strength, but cannot figure out or identify his rank. He believes MC has purposefully concealed his abilities. Therefore, he chose to ignore it for the time being and enter the portal, warning Xiao Luo that he wouldn't spare him the next time. As Lu Yao is taking his departure, a man tells Xiao Luo to give up on opposing Lu Yao, since he is a second-generation rich kid, and Xiao Luo is just a poor guy. Xiao Luo advises that one should become strong if he feels poor and insecure instead of acting like a coward. Xiao Luo thinks what the guy said was true, but only for the former owner of the body, not for the strongest person in the nation, Xiao Luo. After hearing Xiao Luo's remarks, the guy loses it and begins to yap about how amazing Lu Yao is. But Xiao Luo chooses to overlook it. He must concentrate on leveling his monster pet and himself to level 5. He decides to practice before entering the portal since, despite his current strength, he might be able to kill minor mobs, but not the final Lord Monster. The scene changes to Lin asking Lu Yao why he didn't even discipline Xiao Luo for insulting her, and why he allowed him to bully her in that way. Lu Yao claims that he can't behave rashly in front of a large crowd, since it would damage the reputation of his family. But he promises her that he will force Xiao Luo to kneel and make apologies to her very soon. This makes her happy. Then the action switches back to Xiao Luo leveling up by eliminating multiple small groups of monsters. His pet monster usually needs the same amount of experience as him to level up, but luckily, his pet only needs half of his experience due to his Necromancer skill, which makes it slightly easier for him to level up his pet monster. As Lu Yao defeats the monster, the guys who were earlier praising Lu Yao are shocked by Xiao Luo's strength and believe they shouldn't have made fun of someone with so much strength. Following the fight, 3 women approach Xiao Luo and beg to join his squad. One of them even expresses interest in becoming his girlfriend. However, Xiao rejected them, stating no thanks. Then, a notice informs everyone that the level 5 secret realm is about to close in 10 minutes. Xiao Luo strengthens the protection of his armored scorpion in light of this, for him to utilize it as a human shield and deal the boss monster a lot of damage. He then puts on the magical necklace, which rapidly replenishes his mana, so he may utilize the fireball talent more frequently. After making all the necessary preparations, he decides that 10 minutes is plenty and opens the gateway. Lu Yao and his subordinates are seriously hurt inside the portal. A lackey remarks that their current condition might not allow them to take down a grade 7 Lord monster. Lin also agrees with them and suggests that they put their lives first. Thus, in an attempt to escape the secret realm before they are killed, they begin to quickly activate their resurrection scrolls. However, they discover that someone has entered the secret realm before they leave. They realize it's Xiao Luo when they look closely. When Lu Yao sees MC's handsome face, he becomes enraged and asks if he wishes to die. MC just smirks at him in mockery, which causes Lu Yao to lose it, and he wants to kill him. However, his subordinate informs him that they must depart before the monsters kill them, and that Xiao Luo will die because he cannot purchase a resurrection scroll since he is a poor guy. They immediately turn on the scroll, which causes them to be transported, and Lu Yao threatens to kill Xiao Luo in the outside world if he doesn't die in the secret realm before departing. Xiao Luo doesn't care and concentrates on how to take down the armored Lord Scorpion, a level 7 Lord monster. He observes that the Scorpion's attack and health stats are far higher than his minions when it emerge in front of him. Then he calls forth his pet monster, an armored Scorpion, and they begin to fight. Even if being a level 7 monster gives the Lord monster an advantage. Since the armored Scorpion was a level 5 boss monster as well, Lord Monster could not defeat it with a single attack as it tries to take down his pet monster. Xiao Luo seizes the chance and begins attacking it with fireball attacks. After a while, the Lord Monster sustains severe injuries, so Xiao Luo delivers a powerful final blow that kills the Lord Monster. After that, the system congratulates him and gives him a secret scroll as payment for conquering the secret realm. The system announces the news in the Doomsday City also. The fact that one player has cleared a level 5 secret realm by himself leaves everyone in disbelief. Because Xiao Luo chose 0 as a nickname in the alternate universe, many are unaware of his true identity. Above all, Lin and her boyfriend Lu Yao are terrified since they noticed that Xiao Luo had entered the portal at the very end before they left. However, Lu Yao believes that someone else might have entered after Xiao Luo and killed the monster. As Xiao Luo is merely a poor person who is a beast tamer without a pet. Thus, they conclude that it wasn't Xiao Luo, but rather someone else. Furthermore, Lu Yao gives his followers orders to find the individual and persuade him to join their clan at whatever costs, because he knows that the person who can clear the secret realm alone is not an ordinary person. The scene returns to Xiao Luo, who is rewarded with numerous drop items, but Xiao Luo is only interested in the secret scroll. He therefore upgrades the secret scroll to king level using alternative energy. In the first world, this is the first time someone has obtained a secret scroll of king level, and the cost to purchase this scroll is in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. This prevents ordinary class shifters from being able to obtain it. He now activates the secret scroll, which gives him a mission to rescue a survivor. If he finishes this within the allotted time, he will be rewarded generously. It is displayed that the mission difficulty is 100. The objective is to bring back Eileen, a survivor, to the safe zone in the Doomsday Town. Moreover, the task will vanish forever if he doesn't complete it within the allotted 12-hour time restriction. In order to bring back the survivors, he needs to go into the Berserk forest. However, the wild boars there can be up to level 10, and they also tend to form a group, making it more challenging to defeat them. He decides he can figure out how to deal with them while fighting them. Now he needs to find Eileen first. Next, we witness a wild boar chasing a girl as she runs while being scared. The boar is killed by a strong fire attack, and it seems that Xiao Luo was the one who saved her. He is informed by the system that she is Eileen, the survivor, and it is displayed that he has 10 hours left to bring her back to the safe zone. However, before they could relax, a wild boar began to roar in fury. It charges at Xiao Luo, while Xiao Luo unleashes his fire magic, which causes some damage and forces the wild boar back. However, before they could get away, the wild boars surrounded them. Xiao Luo is also a little concerned, because the wild boars are tough and Xiao Luo's strikes were barely making a dent. Thus, he calls forth his armored scorpion, which strikes the wild boars and hinders their attack, while Xiao Luo eliminates them with his most powerful strike, a super fireball attack. He killed a lot of boars, but there was no end to them. This made Xiao Luo nervous, as he was already running low on mana. The little girl is also concerned with him and asks if he is fine. Xiao Luo assures her that he is all right, and that he will return her to the safe zone. However, Xiao Luo was unprepared for the unexpected attack from a wild boar, but he was still able to protect himself by unleashing his powerful fireball magic attack. The boar was just a little damaged by the attack, even though it was successful in pushing it back. The mission's difficulty shocks Xiao Luo. He and his pet monster are both hurt and won't be able to endure this much longer. Fortunately, though, his experience points were computed completely, allowing him to level up twice and become a level 7 class shifter. After leveling up, his stats are much stronger than before, and he also puts on the Lord's Battle Ring, which he acquired by defeating the Scorpion King. This ring increases strength and attack power, while depleting the opponent's defense by 20 points. He unleashed a powerful fireball attack with his newly discovered strength. After killing the boars, he goes on the rampage and unleashes a barrage of fireballs that wipe out the surrounding boars. Though they are both safe, Xiao Luo and Eileen are a little worn out after their battle. To finish his task, all that's left for him to do is accompany Eileen back to the safe zone. Sadly, though, now is not the time for relaxation. As Lin and Lu Yao arrive at the scene, Xiao Luo was supposed to die in the secret zone according to Lu Yao, so he mockingly questions how he managed to survive. Xiao Luo advises them to get lost, since he doesn't want to waste his time with them, as seeing their expressions irritates him. However, neither of them heeds Xiao Luo's advice, and because he was too impolite to Lin, she asked Lu Yao to teach Xiao Luo some lessons. Lu Yao, who is confident in his level 5 class shifter abilities, says he won't be spared today as Xiao Luo was lucky the last time. After hearing this, Xiao Luo gets angry and asks Lu to bring it on. Lu screams as he charges toward Xiao Luo, wanting to see which is more vicious, Xiao Luo's words or Lu Yao's sword. And he lunges at Xiao Luo's neck with his sword, but Xiao Luo used his magic to deflect it. Lin and Lu Yao are taken aback by Xiao Luo's strength. When it comes Xiao Luo's turn to attack, he asks if Lu is done with his attack. Before Lu could take any action, Xiao Luo was there with a huge fireball ready to burn Lu alive. Lu Yao became very afraid of this and started ranting that his father would not leave him alone if he harmed him. However, Xiao Luo doesn't give a damn and kills him with a single blow, leaving only Lu Yao's equipment behind. The system informs him that he will not be given any sin points because he killed a professional who was grayed out. Everyone in the alternate universe will initially have a white name. A person will, however, get grayed out when they attack another white-named person, allowing the defender to defend and kill the aggressor without accumulating any sin points. Additionally, the attacker will receive 100 sin points and have their name turned red if they are successful in killing a white-named individual. He won't be able to leave the alternate world and won't be able to enter the safe zone with the red name. However, a red-named person can kill enough monsters to get rid of his sin points or die in the alternate world. Then Lin, who is scared of Xiao Luo, begins to yap about some pointless things after realizing how strong Xiao Luo has grown, then goes on to add that she hasn't forgotten him since the day they split up. However, Xiao Luo ignores her as he leaves to complete his mission. As he leaves, he believes it is a good thing Lin refrained from approaching Eileen, because it would have interfered with his mission. As a result, he leaves, believing he cannot waste time on some irrelevant guys. About Lin, she became enraged after Xiao Luo ignored her, and so she swears to get back at him for the humiliation. Next, the focus shifts to Xiao Luo, who has finished his task by bringing Eileen back to the safe zone. As a reward for finishing his mission, he gets an ice stick, a skill book, and a new pet egg. He gains a great deal of experience points, which allows him to reach level 8. Then quickly, he calls forth his ice stick and upgrades it to golden level gear using his unlimited reserve of alternative energy. Then, seeing that the pet egg he had obtained was of normal quality, he placed it in his inventory together with the many eggs he had gathered while cleaning the monsters. Afterward, he had a change of heart and fed the entire eggs to his armored scorpion, causing the pet monster to develop into an elite-level silver armored scorpion. Xiao Luo is happy with his reward and believes that, with his present strength, he is prepared to defeat the first alternative world boss. However, he must first restock on supplies. Therefore, he returned to the real world. The hospital calls him as soon as he gets back and tells him to pay his brother's medical bills, or they will stop his brother's treatment. As Xiao Luo decided to take on the previous owner's responsibilities, he asked the bank to send him the payment card number and promised to call the man in 10 minutes. He chooses to sell his golden equipment, which would easily fetch millions of dollars, to make money. Unfortunately, the system states that because these items are tied to him, he is unable to trade or drop them. Given this situation, he decided to look for an alternative source of income. In order to get some quick money, he searches for jobs he can take on. Even though he would be paid well to become a trainer, it would take him a long time to save up the money he would need to pay his bills. Thus he continued to search, until he saw a post stating that, for a hefty 300,000 yuan, he would like to employ the newest professional in the first world to be a coach. The person on the internet says that this message comes up every year, and that everyone who accepts it will be killed. Xiao Luo decides to take the job because he finds this possibly dangerous job interesting, and also because it pays well. Okay guys, this is the end of the video. If you want more parts of this manhwa, please comment and let me know. Make sure to like and subscribe before you leave, and thank you for watching Manga Stories.